Sairam, this is Gyani Bele. My humble pranams at the lotus feet of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, and my humble pranams to all of you. Our Sanatana Dharma says God is omnipresent. What is this omnipresence? And it also defines it. It uses the terminology that Desha Kala Vastu Parichedya Shunyam. What that really means is God is indivisible, inseparable by any object, any time or space. So what that means is we cannot say that he is present in this object, is not present in that object. We cannot say that he is present here, not present there. We cannot say that he is present today or he wasn't present yesterday. So time, object and space cannot divide him. Okay? But what I found along the way is I came across many people who use this kind of understanding, but use it to say that, like God is everywhere. Why do I really need to go to temple? Why do I really need to go to holy places? He's everywhere, so I don't need to go there. Okay. So today what we're going to be speaking about is how Swami educated us in this respect, in this area. And this is where we use three terminologies here. One is invoking God, another one is active presence of God, another third is passive presence of God. To address this kind of a thought process, as well as what does that really do and what does that really mean. Okay. Swami said, he gave an example at that time. He said that sitting here, you are present. But that does not mean you are actively present. What that really means is, you may be present here, but your mind may be roaming anywhere. You may be having other thoughts running around in your head. So you cannot say that you are actively present here. You may be listening to the words, but they may be registering in your head or may not be registering in your head. Like if you say, even as you are listening to this video, you may be passively listening or you may be actively listening. You may be listening to it while doing something else and your mind is over there. Okay. So that difference Swami pointed out. He says that similarly, there's a difference between active and passive presence of God also. And we will define that. Before we get into that one, sadhana is typically done and worship is typically done by all the people who do it at three levels. That is at the level of actions, at the level of words, at the level of mind. And you could be doing all three or you could be doing two while the mind is roaming around. Your mouth is uttering the mantras and your hands are doing the puja, but your mind is kind of having a vacation somewhere, So it could be any one of them, but it becomes effective, very effective, and one of them is more effective than the other, even if you were to do it that way. Actions are good. It's doing activity is good because it kind of stops you from engaging in other things. But there are words which are going to be more because now your actions and words both are in it. So this is a little bit more effective. But then if your mind is also fully engaged in it, that becomes a lot more effective. Okay. Another thing Swami said for invoking God, this is one of the requisites of invoking God. Another thing Swami said for invoking God is your body, your mind, your heart, and the place must be clean. So clean being like mind, body should be physically clean, mind should be free of impurities, heart should be free of bad feelings. So basically he's saying that if those are there, that will also be helpful in invoking the God. Okay. When sadhana and worship are done with mind, heart, words, and actions, with full focus on it, and you do the sadhana as well as the worship. When you do with that one, then you will be invoking God. So, what does that God, invoking God means? God who is present? Like we already said, Sanatana Dharma says that the God is present everywhere, right? So God is already present in you, whether you do the worship or not, whether you do invoking or not, God is present in you. But now by invoking, that God who's passively present in you comes to the surface. And what does that coming to the surface means? This is really invoking. It means it is active presence of God. Okay. So how does it become actively present? It can manifest in the form of, actually what manifests is grace and his presence. And how does it do that? It does it by, like, you start getting dreams, you start getting visions, you can start getting coincidences, you can start feeling peace and happiness. It could be miracles, it could be manifestations, it could be siddhi powers. These are all different gradations as you get invoke the God and you get deeper and deeper into it. Whenever is God, so that is the individual. Okay, we spoke at the individual level. Now when we come to this question about this, what other people say about why go to temple, why go to the shrines, God, same thing, same kind of a thing applies to even to the temples and even to the spiritually holy places. And what is that? In temples and pilgrimages, God is invoked by three mechanisms. It's by yantra, by tantra, and by mantra. Tantra is a procedure. Mantra is these are the holy syllables and everything put together. And they are potent mantras. They have a lot of power and energy into them. And yantra is the one which they put in there when they establish the prana pratishtha of that deity in there. So this is in the temples and so forth. And those places are also constantly worshipped, because the priests do the worshipping constantly all through the day. That goes on. Devotees come there, they worship. So all of them, when they're doing it, they're pouring energy into it. Okay. So that energy and that whole place gets charged with energy. And that is the active presence of God at that time in there. Now, all the people who visit to the temple, they go there, they walk away with some degree, some level of that energy which is emanating within that temple or within that yatra or within that pilgrimage. Okay, it is emanating that one, and all the people will get it. But the amount and the degree one can have and one can retain is dependent on that individual's personal sadhana and personal purity and other factors in it. For example, a saintly person or a very sattvic person who's kind of very calm and very spiritual and or very Godward and so forth, who has a great faith in God and so on, and if he visits the temple, he may absorb and retain that energy, say for a month. But while a thief goes to the temple, he may just retain it for a few minutes after he leaves the temple. Then his normal level of energy operates and that takes over. So there is a great degree of personal factor involved in this one. So those who do, now this is about the people who do sadhana. This is about going to the places where sadhana is done. So does that mean that the people who do not do sadhana, who do not do worship, that the God is not present in them? And the answer comes back as no, God is present in them. He is present passively. There is no place anywhere God is not present, but He is present passively. And in these holy places, and in these ashrams, and in these pilgrimages, God is at the surface level, actively present. And we get access to God at that time when we reach up to there. And actually, Swami said, I'm giving it based on what Swami has told us. Swami said back in March of 98 to my spouse Shivangini, he said that I am present. You have invoked the deity in this little mandir. That mandir was our mandir at our home. The positive vibrations are being felt by you and kids and the spouse. That's what Swami uttered. So what to take away from that one? It means that each of us, and if we get pure and invoke the God at our own home, at our own shrine, and we are able to invoke God in there, all the people who come near that place, near in that vicinity, will get the benefit because they will get that spiritual energy which will energize them. Whether they want it or not, they will get it. But the amount and how long they're going to retain it is dependent on their own personal effort, their own personal sadhana, their own personal energy. And Sai Ram for listening. Thank you. Sai Ram.